Hey everyone, this is the Superhero Show. I'm Daniel, and this is Christopher Tilley. Full name this week.
Yeah, thank you.
All the syllables. Thor 3, Thor Ragnarok. They keep showing us little bits of it this week.
Yeah.
And now I'm really excited about this movie.
Yeah, so I guess they're on the streets of Brisbane
as New York.
As New York. And I guess they're kind of, with what was happening with Doctor Strange and a bunch of the other films, that all the paparazzi shots have got out and like spoilt things. They're just doing it themselves now. They're having a bit of fun with it.
Like, because they've been shooting for a few weeks, I think they've done a lot of the soundstage stuff. Mark Ruffalo has rapped on the movie.
Yeah.
And Chris Hemsworth's been posting like little funny videos. He's very funny on Instagram. But now they've like shown us stuff. We've seen Tom Hiddleston as Loki. There's a paparazzi picture of Odin and what he looks like in the movie, which is really interesting. And yeah, now I'm just really excited. Like I was excited when Taika Waititi was announced as the director. Thor Ragnarok at the time was, as much as I like the first Thor and I like the character like Chris Hemsworth, Dark World, I think we can both agree, is one of the worst of the Marvel movies. Ragnarok, I was pretty indifferent to it. It was like, that's a cool title for what that might mean.
Yeah.
But now we've been finding plot details. Waititi was confirmed as director. Hiddleston's back. Hulk's in it.
Yeah.
Planet Hulk's in it. That new logo. Now I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, some interesting casting.
Yeah.
Idris Elba's obviously going to have a more expanded role.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a few things to be excited about, really. I mean, one of the things I'm excited about is Jeff Goldblum being the Grand Master in it, because it's interesting what that character how he might fit into the universe, because he likes setting people against each other and playing games with different groups of people, and so that could be interesting as we've now getting these different groups from these different movies in the Marvel cinematic universe, and it might be interesting how he'll play into that.
Yeah, because what I'm really interested about is I still have no idea of what this actual movie is going to be, like genre-wise. Like we've heard Cosmic Road Trip.
Cosmic Road Trip, which of course everyone knows Cosmic Road Trips.
As a genre, I love them.
Bob Hope and Bing Crosby were my favourites.
You love them.
Yeah,
you love a Cosmic Road. He never shuts up about them. But we've also found out that Loki is now on the throne in Asgard.
Yeah.
Odin confirmed a rumour that we heard earlier in the year that he is in exile on Earth, and he's leading his life as like a crazy person on the streets.
Yeah, I've come up with a name for him.
What?
You're going to like this.
Is this okay? Is this going to be PC?
Yeah. Hobodin. Come on, that's good.
It's good.
Just
Like,
came up with that. You can use that, Marvel.
You're speaking to Taika Waititi, you should pitch that to him.
Yeah, okay.
Come on, do it right at the beginning of the interview so he just gets off on that really positive note in case he doesn't like it. But then there's a picture of them in front of the magazine rack, and there's a typo on Times Square, unless that is a plot point.
Yeah.
But there's also the picture of the card of Thor holding it. It says Bleecker Street, so it implies they might meet Doctor Strange in this, which would kind of tie in if they're like hopping about space and time on this cosmic road trip.
Yeah.
But yeah, suddenly I just think this movie, which when they announced, when they did that big slate reveal where they showed loads of logos, Thor Ragnarok just had the most kind of generic logo. It was like fire and ashes, and suddenly this movie, from being this like doom and destruction movie, has a lot of personality and character. Like it's reminding me more of Guardians.
So what is it? Is it a road trip movie? Is it Planet Hulk? Is it going to tell the Ragnarok story? We just don't know, do we? No,
I have no grasp of what the actual plot of the movie is, but I know I like all the ingredients.
Yeah. No, and the fact that there's a suggestion that sort of 70-80% of it will take place in space.
Yeah.
That's kind of exciting. Again, it's going to, obviously Guardians have already done that, but it just makes it different. And
I wonder how much heavy lifting this movie will have to do in a bigger sense, because obviously Thor was absent from Civil War. I wonder if this is a movie that suddenly has more importance for the overarching story, because we know Thanos is a certain place. I think James Gunn said that Thanos is not going to be in Guardians, so that'd be your other space-based movie to kind of turn the wheels for getting Thanos to Earth or introducing in another Infinity Stone.
Yeah. Well, we know in the comics, Grandmaster had a mind gem, so I don't know if he'll have something to do with the Infinity Stones.
Yeah, because we're almost certain that the Eye of Agamotto, Strange's amulet has an Infinity Stone in it. So then we're one short.
Yeah.
So whether that's Black Panther or whether it's a Thor thing, or whether it's just getting the other gauntlet, which is currently on Asgard, I wonder whether Thanos, yes, that's another element, but it seems the most appropriate movie to bring that stuff into right now.
Do you think the post-credit sting will be Thor knocking on Doctor Strange's door and said, "We need your help, mate.
The Doctor will see you now.
Give us a hand." Yeah.
I think it would be Thanos in space just commuting to Earth.
Well, it was just
like,
Thanos kind of laughing again.
This is taking ages. Should have got the Express.
I feel like loads of the post-credit stings have been just Thanos kind of laughing.
It's just lazy. One of them's in putting a glove on. You go, do it myself. Yeah, about time, mate. So yeah, I'm really excited for Ragnarok.
Yeah.
For that logo alone, that title treatment. Right.
Well, let's do some feedback. So the majority of feedback is DC and Suicide Squad.
Okay.
I have noticed that we haven't had as many people writing in to defend this film, Suicide Squad, as wrote in to defend Batman v Superman. We'll try and draw a line under it after this, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm going to kick off with one from Evan from California, who says, "I put you guys on every night and I fall asleep listening to the colourful and detailed analysis. In a good way, not a boring way." So,
compliment.
I think that's a compliment.
Well, it's if he's doing it every night. It's only one episode a week. So we're
falling
on
asleep really
rotation,
quickly.
or he's just doing a minute at a time.
I feel bad though, because I think seeing us last thing before we go to sleep would give you nightmares. His question is, following the huge opening of Batman v Superman and Suicide Squad, they had huge drop-off. Will this be a trend in DC EU movies, or do you think the fans have given WB the 3 strikes and will not see the movies at all? It seems people will see them out of peak interest, but word of mouth leads to declining weekly box office numbers. While I've not seen Suicide Squad, I'm still excited for Wonder Woman, Justice League and Aquaman. To be fair, although it hasn't set the world alight in terms of box office, it's actually hung on at the top spot in the States and in the UK for weeks and weeks, like longer than most other films this summer. I think that's because not a huge amount has come out in August, but it's having longevity, which is surprising me based on the emails we're receiving and the stuff you're seeing on Twitter about in terms of word of mouth.
Yeah, and I think you should put all those concerns about perception, because a lot of people who go and make the difference on the box office of a movie don't get bogged down in like who made this movie. Is it DC, Marvel? And the same reason that Fantastic Four at Fox didn't do so well, even though that had the Marvel banner. A lot of people see it the same way as the other MCU stuff. So I think word of mouth, if they make a good movie, it'll do better.
Yeah, and that's what we had Wonder Woman is. Actually, Terry wrote an interesting article. It's on the site about saying that it won't be enough that Wonder Woman's good. They need to have a few in a row.
A few hits, but no, I've got high hopes for Aquaman as well. Right, this is Stephen Miller. He is an associate pastor at the Kingdom Life Christian Church. Hey, Stephen. So this is about concerns of the DCU as a whole. The DCEU has established a poor track record now. They have demonstrated little regard for the heart of who the DC characters are. Batman using guns, Superman killing and being aloof, and the Joker, don't get me started. These are not one-off movies and thus very interdependent, and so the see it before you judge it mentality no longer applies. I know where they're going and I'm fed up with it. I will not continue to give WB my money to see what I know will inevitably be a bad movie, and thus by giving them my money, encourage them to make more. It's true, like... One of the reasons you continue to get average movies is people go see them regardless. So you'd vote with the money you pay at the cinema. And I think this is something we talked about last week. Because of the way that DC have gone about it, he's right, they've established so many elements that will appear in future movies. So if you don't like them, they've played those cards.
Yeah.
But hopefully, even if you don't like that Joker, there's maybe a way of reworking it. Or maybe the Batman movie has a different villain. Just sidestep it.
That's funny you should ask that. Ryan Pollard has written it.
This is absolutely not planned.
Having been thinking a lot about Suicide Squad recently, the one thing that still frustrates me is Jared Leto's take on the Joker. Latest interpretation of him is someone who's really no different than an ordinary mafia boss, which is just not interesting to me. And the atrocious bling-bling gangster attire didn't really help matters. If he does appear again, possibly in the upcoming solo Batman movie directed by Ben Affleck, do you think that they'll change his character, or do you think they'll stick with what they've started?
So it seems like no one is more disappointed by the joke you get in Suicide Squad than Jared Leto himself. He is fuming. But like, that's interesting because it seems like the original David Ayer project was this much more artful film, and that's the one he got sold on. So he seems pretty burnt on what ended it up. So I wonder if there was something good in there once, something a bit more weird and unusual. But anyway, we'll never know about that. It would be an admission that they've gone wrong, but also, like, even if he's contracted, imagine getting him back to do that role after all the stuff he said publicly.
Yeah. Awkward.
They've recast the Hulk in the MCU, and they changed the design of the actual Hulk.
Yeah.
It's not unthinkable that they could do it.
No. I tell you, it has been interesting, though, just from my point of view. I've done the Batman v Superman junket and the Suicide Squad junket and come back both times really aware that the actors weren't all that happy, like Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
You could tell. I mean, I was there that day that Sound of Silence video happened, and I was in just before or after, and you could just sense he wasn't very happy with. I felt like he wasn't happy promoting the movie, that he wasn't happy with doing. Jared Leto is pretty obvious. I'm sure people have seen videos we put on the site with him that have been.
His interview with you was so weird.
So weird.
But it's true though. Like, that goes for junkets in general. When you go to a junket, and you know people are really proud of that movie.
Yeah.
There's a good feeling about it. You didn't get that at all.
No.
Okay. But yeah, I don't think it's unthinkable they could do it. Maybe they leave it one, because in the Batman movie, like, Affleck's no shortage of villains to do.
Exactly.
And then do Joker later on. Okay. This is Max from Perth in Australia. One of the strongest elements of the Batman comics is the Batman and Joker relationship. That no matter what the Joker does, even when he killed Jason Todd, Batman will not kill him due to his own moral code, and this is what I believe makes their relationship so captivating. However, in Batman v Superman, we are introduced to a version of Batman who kills. So my issue is that if we now have a Batman who has no problem killing henchmen who are only following orders, and given the Joker is supposed to be one of the most dangerous men alive, wouldn't Batman have killed the Joker years ago?
I think it's an interesting point.
I think it's a logic loophole there.
Yes.
Because they've said, I think Lisa's come out and said the reason that he has the metal grill is when Affleck's Batman took him to Arkham, he knocked out all of his teeth. So at that point, whether he's broken since that, in retrospect, the grief has gotten the better of him. But yeah, there's no real rationalisation of that.
No, it kind of contradicts everything we know about Batman. Dulali Frank's back.
Hey Dulali.
He says he's neither hero nor villain, he's more anti-villain, so...
It's like that, is it?
He said, with some saying that Cavill's Superman is like an emo teen, now Aquaman will be the reluctant king, I fear the DCEU will get labelled as teen angsty franchise. What are your thoughts on that? And he also, talking about Jason Momoa, if he's such a big character and a lot of fun, as we've spoken about on here before, how does he not get more credit for his acting? It would be weird to see him cast in other films as a Pratt, Reynolds, Rudd kind of role, but he also might be quite refreshing. And he compares him to Arnie, popping up in comedy roles.
Well, you've obviously never seen his turn in Baywatch Hawaii. Neither have I, actually.
I watched a terrible werewolf movie the other day that he was in, with Lucas Till, actually.
Okay.
It was like, kind of like a cross between Teen Wolf and... It wasn't very good, but he was the best thing in it. Like, he has got charisma. Yeah. He's one of the reasons I'm excited for the Aquaman film.
Yeah, so the criticism of teen angsty, I don't know, like, all the characters are much older apart from Flash. I think it's just general angst.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's just pissed off in those movies.
Yeah, especially Superman.
You've got powers. I know there's a lot of stuff going down, but cheer up.
Yeah, I expect Batman to be permanently miserable, but
don't mind
Superman
Batman being...
got to be happy.
Got to be happy a bit.
Yeah.
He's got to be a bit positive.
Well, he's happy when he gets in the bath.
Imagine a depressed Superman. What a downer. Oh, what are you doing? Crying about Krypton again? Unbelievable.
Crying your green tears.
This is Chris. I play Marvel Puzzle Quest quite a lot, and I figured that I didn't know a lot about the Hood. So I did a little research, and wow, what an extremely interesting and powerful character. It would be amazing if he was a hidden villain in Doctor Strange, or maybe he could be more of a crime boss version and turn up on the next season of Daredevil. Thoughts? Yeah, I think Daredevil's a good place. I think with Doctor Strange, they've already planned their future villains. I can't say that. But like, I was doing a lot of transcription this week. That's a teaser. for a future show.
Can you tell me when we start?
I think they've set up a lot of stuff for their future villains, and it doesn't involve the Hood.
Well, that's annoying.
Confirmed.
I hate it when people do that. It's really annoying.
I've lived long enough to see myself become the villain.
Have you read much Deadpool?
Bits and bobs. I've read some of the newer stuff.
Okay. We have a reader looking for a recommendation.
I think everything since they rebooted it a couple of years ago as Marvel Now is a pretty good place to start. It's the Deadpool. If you come via the movie, I think that will give you what you want. Like in the first arc, he's like fighting all the resurrected dead presidents. Yeah, that's pretty good.
I'll read it out. It's Surf Yan who's written in saying he was on the way to work today in Manchester and saw a fella in a suit reading what looked like a Deadpool graphic novel. So he was asking for recommendations, something that relates to story arcs adapted for the movies.
Yeah, I think all the more recent Marvel Now stuff and Night of Deadpool as well, which is kind of the zombie influence thing. That's kind of the Deadpool that you've seen in the film. Yeah, compared to the older stuff because they've really like locked down the character. Cool. That's all the feedback from this week. Contact us at any time. What address?
Yeah, if you've got any ideas for shows, maybe write in because every now and then we're like, what the hell should we talk about?
What we want to do is outsource the creativity.
That's not what I said.
No.
But Doctor Strange is the only one left now this year, and we've got a lot of weeks to fill. So
I don't know what I can and can't say about that one. So until next week, for everything on Doctor Strange and everything Marvel, DC, and all the rest, stay here on IGN.
And write superhero show at IGN.com.
Kind of ran out of breath when I was doing that outro then.